Awful moments on paternity court.
27 days ago, you got him holding your baby saying it's mine. Today, you talking about, okay, I ain't even got nothing to do with him because I'm marrying somebody else.
Before I had sex with his cousin last month. It's always him that starts.
So wait a minute now, you had sex with his cousin again last month?
And he had sex with my cousin again 3 months ago.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we've got a juicy case coming your way. We've got Miss Ginald and her sister squaring off against Mr. Harden, a guy who's been dodging paternity like a pro athlete dodges paparazzi. Fasten those seatbelts, because this one's one heck of a roller coaster.
Mr. Harden actually came to our house in Minnesota and with his 2 sisters, in which we all just spent the day together. And the last I recall, I was 11 years old and my sister Kiera was 10.
11, and you're 26 now.
Correct.
15 years ago is the last time you saw him?
Correct.
Now let's get back to the moment when Miss Ginald ended up pregnant. Now, dear old daddy had his doubts from the get-go. Oh yes, he thought, hey, maybe I'm the dad, but she's been hanging out with a few too many other gents. Talk about a punch to the gut, man.
Their mother didn't allow me to come around them at all. There's no way that I would not want to be around my daughters, Your Honor.
You're lying right there.
I asked for a paternity test from day one, and Your Honor, I've always doubted because I used to catch Ms. Ginell with several different men during the course of our relationship.
Mr. Harden's heartache didn't stop there. Nope, he had been carrying the weight of over a whopping $90,000 in child support payments. And if that wasn't enough, he'd been dropping bombshells about catching Miss Ginald in some steamy situations. Betrayal, anyone?
They approached him in Indiana that they were going to give him papers to sign or whatever. He said he felt he was the father and he didn't need to sign no papers, but he signed some document, but nobody knows where that document is.
What? Did you sign any documents?
Just like I never signed any parental documents, no birth certificates, nothing.
But here's where it gets even spicier. Mr. Harden's got documents. Yeah, you heard me right. Documents. He had been waving around proof of his driver's license suspension, garnished paychecks, and the whole 9 yards. Clearly, he'd been going through a lot of trouble over this paternity mess.
Your Honor, I begged for a paternity test. I petitioned the court.
25 and 26 years old. You had all this time to do it. You should have did this way back when. There's no doubt you should have did this.
I did it immediately.
Why didn't you come? Why are you letting us call you dad when you doubted this whole time?
No, you don't understand.
Now let's talk about timelines. There was this murky window of conception, and it's a real head scratcher. Mr. Harden was scratching his head in confusion and desperation, trying to figure out when these little ladies were actually conceived. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Could it get harder than this?
She's still more than happy. Up until last year, she got money all the time. Every job I worked, she got paid. She got paid, Your Honor. All my money. Yeah, but last year you was getting over $500, $450. I had to go to court to get it modified. That's when I found out the law, Your Honor.
You're worried about $100 here, $100 there. That doesn't matter.
But hold on to your seats, because we've got a bomb to reveal. So we've witnessed a tale of doubt, drama, and everything in between. Let's bring it to a close and give it a big Hollywood ending now, shall we?
Mr. Harden, you are her father.
Told you. I told you. Told you. 26 years. I told you.
Miss Ramos brought her ex-fiancé to court to prove to him, once and for all, he was the baby daddy. However, the defendant was ready to battle it out, as he firmly believed he wasn't the one who fathered baby Xavier.
I am fed up with his lies, his manipulation. He does this to other people, not the only one. I mean, how can you deny such a beautiful baby?
So what was the nature of this relationship? I mean, you said that you were engaged.
We known each other for years before. Then I seen them again last year.
Well. It seemed these guys went way back. Yup, they had just rekindled their connection only a year prior. Initially, it wasn't that serious though. But eventually, it did become so, and that was the time she got pregnant. Could Coincidence?
Me and him wasn't even actually in a relationship. Like, we were.
Wait a minute.
In the beginning, like.
You all are in a relationship.
It was really not that serious in the beginning. It was just like talking to, and I didn't know it was gonna go on to this point. Oh, that's when it really got serious.
So you all were in a serious relationship.
Yep.
Mr. Edwards had more than a few instances to share about the actions of the baby mama, and they were quite graphic. But Miss Ramos kept interjecting while the former fiance testified. Guess she couldn't help but jump to her defense.
At the beginning, when she was at least like a month pregnant, that's when she had slept with a relative of mine.
I disagree. It's not even a blood relative. First of all, it was all through marriage, so I don't even.
So it's a family member of his.
Supposedly.
Excuse me,
it's
Your
not
Honor.
really a family member. It's not
Your
blood
Honor.
relation or anything.
Finally, the defendant got the much-needed time to state his case, and boy did he have some shocking revelations in store. Baby mama had been quite busy with paternity people, so much so that she didn't take any precautionary measures.
You were sleeping and someone had sex with you, but
My
you
ex-
slept through the entire thing?
Actually, I've been broke up with that ex in June. So yes, while I was sleeping, he did start getting into me. No, I wasn't fully asleep, but I actually was not trying to really participate. But I'm not gonna reject it either, knowing that I had a relationship with him.
Dear Lord, woman, have some dignity at least. But even after all of that happened, Mr. Edwards still asked the woman to marry him. Like, seriously? And yet his mind was still filled with all sorts of paternity doubts. No surprises there, given the actions of the baby mama.
He was in a relationship with another female, so yeah, I was gonna first work it out with my ex, and we did have an intimacy, which I do regret because of what I've caused. I wanted to fix it and make it work with him for our child, because our child deserves what we didn't have, which was we didn't grow up with both of our parents.
Next up, we got to some conflicting narratives. The baby daddy played the daddy and fiance part, but didn't sign the birth certificate. However, he did give the kid his last name. Could it get more complicated than this?
She never told the hospital that I was the alleged father.
I disagree, Your Honor. When I told him, hey, it's time to come sign the birth certificate, I already know that's not my baby. I said, so why come here and play daddy?
So he didn't sign the birth certificate, but you still gave Xavier his last name?
Because him and his father told me to give him his last name. They were both there.
The baby mama had been claiming Mr. Edwards was her guy left and right. And bam, she was all set to get married to another guy the next month. Yup, you heard that right. She moved on that fast. However, pretty soon her smart mouth landed her in troubled waters with the judge. And we know Judge Lake won't have anyone talk over her.
She was pregnant before they started talking by somebody else.
Disagree.
Everybody knew about it.
Well, that's because everybody's always making up lies, because nobody likes me.
Before I even seen you, I knew about you. Everybody was talking about you.
Okay.
So who is this girl that's sleeping with everybody?
How about you answer the question about how the baby was born a month and 2 weeks early?
Oh, I can't help it if he was born a month early.
A drama-packed case with surprising twists and turns was close to finishing now. And let me say, it was about time indeed. The baby mama was quick as a cat to move on, but her kids still needed a father. And that's why they were here. Let's hear it.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Edwards, you are the father.
Thank you. I want you to apologize to him, because I told you since day one.
How do you feel in this moment, Mr. Edwards?
I'm afraid.
In a world where loyalty was rarer than a unicorn sighting, we present to you the plaintiff bringing the defendant to court on charges of infidelity and whatnot. Get ready for a wild ride of cheating and doubt that'll leave you hanging on the edge of your seat.
I did make a mistake. I slept with this cousin and the condom had broke. But before that, Tyrone was downstairs sleeping with my cousin. He was still having sex with his baby's mom. He was doing him basically, but yeah, I did.
That was a mouthful. You made a mistake and slept with his cousin.
Yeah.
Who knew a fateful meeting at a party where sparks were flying faster than Spider-Man swinging through the city would eventually end up at paternity court? Alexandra Douglas and Tyrone Jones crossed paths, but their relationship was about as stable as a Jenga tower on a Discovery ride. They slept together, broke up, and then came the cousin drama. Because why not mix family into this mess?
It got good. I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin almost the same night. Me and Tyrone got together the first night we watched movies. The next night we did have sex, but we weren't together. We just had sex, and after that he went back to his other baby's mom.
Baby daddy didn't exactly do backflips when baby mommy dropped the truth bomb. I'm pregnant and it's yours. Doubt was his middle name, and he sure wasn't ready to accept it at just face value. Who can blame him when infidelity was the flavor of the day, right?
We actually wasn't in a relationship at the time when she slept with my cousin, but she basically just denied doing it up until the point. That's the reason we here now.
What did you feel, Mr. Jones, when you heard Ms. Douglas say, I'm pregnant and it's yours?
I wasn't too sure about it.
Hold on to your hats, because Miss Alexandra confessed to sleeping with Mr. Tyrone's cousin when they were still together. Shocked Pikachu face, anyone? But he did sign the birth certificate, and for a brief moment, things seemed like a happy family sitcom. Cue the dramatic plot twist.
I was gonna deny it, but I was actually telling the truth. Yeah, his cousin was there, and he was just watching TV. So at first I was in denial, but I ended up telling him the truth though. 2 years after my daughter was 2, I ended up telling him the truth.
So you go in and you smell, you know the cologne, your cousin, you say, okay, I know my cousin was here, but she denied everything.
Confusion took center stage as we delved deep into the mysteries of the good old conception dates. With baby mama sleeping with the partner's cousin last month and him hitting up Miss Alexandra's cousin 3 months ago, it was like a never-ending game of relationship duet. Dear Lord, it was even hard to keep track of it. My head hurts.
She actually slept with that person last month. My twins is only 6 months or 7 months.
Before I had sex with his cousin last month. It's always him that starts.
Wait a minute now, you had sex with his cousin again last month?
And he had sex with my cousin again 3 months ago, before I did it.
After the tit-for-tat retaliation blew out of proportion, saw that coming miles away, the couple finally took a vow to remain faithful. But did they respect the sanctity of that vow? Well, that's a whole other story, because clearly they did not. Man, oh man, what the heck was going on with these people?
I do want to be with her, but...
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do.
No, that's why he keeps cheating. Why? I have not. Why did you write somebody on Facebook yesterday? We're together. We're supposed to be a little trick to ourselves. And you're texting somebody on Facebook?
Basically, she started writing me, and I'm like, okay, I just responded to that.
Facebook, it says we're engaged. So no other woman want to write him on Facebook. We're engaged on Facebook.
The DNA results were in, and they were bound to be juicier than a celebrity scandal. Will it be a paternity confirmation or a shocking twist? Let's find out as Judge Lake delivered the verdict. And here goes nothing.
Mr. Jones, you are not
She knew this from the beginning. Now I'm embarrassed, gotta face public humiliation because she didn't want to be honest before we came here.
Popcorn's ready, everyone. Mr. Brewer was here to solve the thrilling mystery of which of his fraternal twins truly carries his genes. What? However, in my opinion, he might need to have some scientific evidence. Well, we'll get to that part, don't you worry. But first, listen to some testimonies.
I moved out of state, so I'm in Oklahoma now because the way he treats our babies.
What's going on? I can see you are emotional. What's going on?
So when I first got pregnant with the twins, everything was cool. Sean was there for me. Everything was good. And all of a sudden, he kind of switched up when he seen Zara.
Well, prepare to scratch your head in utter confusion, folks. Mr. Brewer's paternity doubts are making about as much sense as a chocolate teapot. Here's a guy who's absolutely convinced that one twin is his while side-eyeing the other. But hold on, it gets even better. Apparently, their love story started with a phone number mix-up on a cruise.
She's fine and everything. We got
and
together.
I didn't want to talk to him first. I gave him the wrong number.
Well, we talked.
Oh, well, how did you find her if you gave him the wrong number?
He stalked me and he found me.
I didn't stalk her, Yana.
Did she give you the wrong number, Mr. Brewer?
She did give me the wrong number, but I'm a chef. She was like, well, even if nothing don't happen, you can cook for me. And so, yeah, so.
But just pause for a second, because Miss Miller, in her own moment of truth, casually admits to a fling with a mysterious Jose, leaving Mr. Brewer suspicious and playing detective. And you won't believe what Mr. Brewer just confessed to in the courtroom. What's happening?
One night she was drinking heavily and everything, and she told me, oh, I cheated on you with a guy named Jose.
I don't know no Jose.
And she told me
the only Jose I know is Jose Cuervo. I don't know nobody.
Well, that must be Zara Cuervo then, you know.
Okay then.
Miss Miller's all teary-eyed, worried sick about how Mr. Brewer's doubts are affecting the twins. The judge throws in some scientific mumbo-jumbo about twins, and then Mr. Brewer comes in with the grand toe theory. Yup, he's trying to prove a point with a toe, as if it's the cherry on top of this crazy cake.
So this is my crusty foot.
Yeah.
But as you can see, the toe curves like a C, like, and it lays under. Zane's toe is just exactly like mine. It kind of, it's not as crusty, but it curves under like that, like that.
Thank you, Lord.
And then Zara's toe, as you can see, goes straight up. That's how I feel, Your Honor.
Well, buckle up for this juicy twist. Miss Miller's confession at one point reveals she's been doing the single-parent hustle in a whole other state, while Mr. Brewer's been conspicuously absent for a while. Well, enough with this storyline. As the judge was about to drop the bombshell, DNA test results are on the horizon.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brewer, you are the father.